Hey guys, welcome to Nate and Greg's World. As most of you know, on our podcast, we like to try to delve into different cultures, different, I guess cultures would be the best word, really, and try to find out a little bit more about it, because the thing is without understanding what these different cultures are all about, there's going to be a lot of misconceptions. There'll be some prejudice, against these cultures or for these cultures. Sometimes people might think good things about a certain culture and it turns out it's bad. But we tend to sometimes go a little askew, if you will, with the type of cultures that we deal with. Because it's not just, people from this area, people from this area. We've done motocross there with Colton Fasciotti. Mm-hmm. And so we thought we'd bring on a friend of ours here that we've known for a little while here. And we're going to let him explain everything there is to know about karate. So in the studio today, we have Kaleb the Hype Boyle. And Kaleb, sorry, how old are you?
I am 10 years old. 10
years old. Okay, guys, you need to check out some of the videos. We're going to put up some links, and I think we're even going to manage to get a video embedded into this if Nate can figure out how to edit that in, because he does really well with all our editing. But we're going to make sure that you guys can check out some of the stuff that Kaleb does, because let me tell you, I've seen this kid work in real life, watching him do stuff, and let me tell you, this kid is absolutely crazy. Like, I do not want to meet Kaleb in a dark alley anywhere, okay? Because he might only be 10, but let me tell you, his karate skills and stuff like that and all the stuff that he does and the stuff that we're going to talk about is scary as hell. And I know he could whoop my ass in a second. So first off, Kaleb, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you very much. It's actually an honor to be here.
Oh, well, wow. I feel blessed.
Wow. We don't ever get that.
No. We've had some people go, yeah, this is great. But you're blessed. And you brought somebody along with you today. Who'd you bring with you?
I brought my dad.
Your dad, yeah. Because we know Steve here, your dad, through a lot of different things that we do. And he's the one that introduced us to you. And we're really glad that he did. It's unbelievable. Because your dad's one of your biggest supporters and stuff like this. And watching how much he puts into you and all your karate stuff is unbelievable. But some of the stuff that you've done this year alone is just absolutely amazing, because right now we have the whole issue of COVID, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? So has that kind of put a bit of a damper on getting out to all these different tournaments and stuff? Because I knew you were busy traveling before, and so now you can't do the travel.
Yeah, the traveling before was good, and it was nice to get to different places, but since COVID-19, the world might have shut down, and all the sports, hockey, soccer, basketball, soccer, all those sports have been shut down except karate. Karate has been going virtual, and it's been going viral.
That's crazy.
So you do it all on the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you fight somebody on the computer?
Well, we don't fight on computer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's just when you get into the video games. Okay, I got you. But yeah, okay. So now, because you do what's called, what do you tell us? What's it called there? The whole thing with the bow and stuff. It's a demonstration type thing, right?
Yeah, the bow staff is a traditional form of martial arts to defend yourself in a certain way. If you don't have practice with your hands, and at least you have a bow staff right by your side.
Right.
You have experience in there.
Sport karate. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it's more like a demonstration of, hey, look at how good I am with this. Right? Am I on the right ballpark here?
Yeah, you're close, but it's also, I can not just do this. I have my technique, and I'm strong. I'm showing my power.
Okay.
So there would be different divisions. So as a quick example, you would have a traditional weapon would be, it has to be as far back as Okinawan Japanese traditional, the way it was taught in 1600s.
Okay.
Can't change anything about the routine. So everybody would do that the exact same way.
Yeah.
Then you would go into a creative weapon, which is creative, coming up with your own creative ways of attacking. using that weapon, but it would be him that comes up with the creative ways of use. And then you would have musical weapons, which is basically a routine that you've created on your own that's choreographed to music. So it's very entertaining and flippy, tricky, and really cool to watch. And that's usually what the big stages show at night times and night shows. Yeah. And then past that, they have extreme weapons, which is anything goes. And you see the gymnast flipping up and down and spinning 330 times in the air. And
okay, you got to stop now, because I'm telling you, I'm already getting tired just listening to the type of things that can happen here.
So, Kaleb,
this is crazy.
What made you pick staff? The bow staff. Why was like that your option, or did you choose that over other weapons?
So I have actually switched schools, but my first school, they had a curriculum that you had to learn a certain weapon. Mm-hmm. So the first weapon would be the bow staff. Okay. Then I move on to nunchucks, and then the eskrima, and then commas.
Okay. Have you used the other ones?
Yes, I have. Okay. I've gotten my third degree in my just advanced
third
weapon.
Level on the weapons.
Yeah, but bow staff seemed to be the most fun and interesting to me, and it really caught my eye.
Right.
Now, I know when we first were introduced to you with your bow staff, and I was like, well, wait a second. Like, the only thing about karate that I know is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And if I'm not mistaken, Donatello, he was the one that had the bow staff, right?
Yes.
So you're basically like the Donatello of the Ninja Turtles doing all this stuff.
Just not green and living in the sewers.
Well, that's good. That's good. Nobody wants to be living down there, because especially after taco night, let me tell you. No, and that's fantastic. But you're saying that right now you have all these competitions that they're worldwide, they're in different countries and stuff, and now you're doing them all virtually. So how does that work?
So a few different tournaments. Most of them are using Zoom, but there's also My Uventex. My Uventex is like all over the world, but so is Zoom. Yeah. And Zoom has taken over, and they're doing their online virtual tournaments there. That's most of the live tournaments, but the most tournaments are doing through My Uventex, where you just record and you send in the video.
Oh, okay. So you're recording these things, so like it's not necessarily live feed of you. They're going, okay, now up is Kaleb the Hype Boyle, okay, and then everybody blows up your screen and suddenly watches you, in your bedroom jumping around, doing backflips off the bed with the bow and stuff like that, right?
Something like that.
So before all this went down, can you tell us some places you've been? Like, where have you traveled to do this? Because I know you've been quite a few cool places.
Yeah, I have. Before all this happened, I've been to Ireland, I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to Chicago, New York, Michigan, Jamaica, tons of different places.
Wow, he's gone to a whole lot cooler places than I've been.
I've never been anywhere.
I traveled with the military. I traveled with my the defense contracting company. I don't think I've been to the cool places that you've ever been to. Like,
I get excited.
That sucks. That's it.
I get excited to go to Port Stanley.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
so do we.
That's my travel.
Okay, so once again, with the whole tournament thing that you're doing right now, and you've got all these different tournaments, you pre-record a routine, right? And so like you go to your backyard, dad films it type thing, and then it's like, okay, here's the submission, and away you go.
Yes, but there's also options, because you're just recording it and it's not a live feed.
Yeah.
And as a live feed, you only have one shot, and if you blow it, you blow it.
Right.
During the recordings, if you get one good one, that's the one that you can submit. But if you keep recording and you get bad ones, you don't have to choose to send those.
So how many takes? How many takes does it take you usually to get it perfect?
How many takes did it take 3 months ago?
3 months ago, it took around like 11.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12 tries to get a really good video. Now, last week, how many chances did it
One
take?
or two.
Yeah,
nice.
One shot wonder now.
Nice. So. Can you tell us about some of your awards? Because I know you've won lots of awards.
Yeah, one or two, I think. I think I saw a list of one or two awards that you might have got.
Do you mean like over the past year, or just in the COVID?
Over the past year.
Yeah, let's go with the past year. Leave out COVID. Let's talk about some of the other awards that you've gotten, and then we'll talk about COVID, because I know there's been some crazy stuff going on with the COVID and the tournaments that you've been entering with COVID.
But before all this COVID stuff happened and I was joining tournaments like crazy, like I said, I've been traveling. When I went to New York and Chicago, I had 2 big tournaments there, and they were 2 NASCAR tournaments. The New York one was just a fun Kate Talk ones, and it was just have fun and try to get your points up for NASCAR. But my Chicago one,
what's NASCAR?
Let me set the stage here for you a little bit. Kind of just backtrack one little step. So last year, 2019, Kaleb is 9 years old in the 10 and under division.
Right.
So he's competing against kids that are a year older than him, right? And he's coming in second and third and fourth and fifth, and he's working his way to the top. So 2020 was poised to be his year. He was going to be king of his category. He was 10 years old, and I'm the man. You know, it's like going into grade 8, and you're in grade 12. You're the king of the castle finally.
Yeah.
So January starts, and Dad and Mom decide we're going to invest in this NASCAR tournament. So what NASCAR is North American Sport Karate Association. So it is the most world-renowned. If you're anybody in karate, you're part of this. It's the Super Bowl for karate.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So that's the league you need to get to be known.
And I'm sorry, what's it called again?
NASCAR.
NASCAR. Okay, it wasn't the people that were going to space. That's NASA.
No. There's a K in there.
NASCAR.
You got it.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So this is January. We decide we're going full-fledged. So January, at the beginning of every year, the first week of January, there's a tournament called ICOMA, which is the International Committee of Martial Arts. And so they pick a country somewhere in the Caribbean, and they invite that country, and then they go down and they bring all the best of the Canadians and some Americans, and they go down and have a tournament. And so this year was Jamaica. So we were in Jamaica the first week of this year for that tournament.
I guess if you really have to go.
He did really well there.
It was Costa Rica.
Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, it was Costa Rica this year. My apologies to Costa Rica. So
once again, what a shame having to go to Costa Rica, hang out on the beach.
He does extremely well there, and we decide, okay, we're going to let him go into this NASCAR environment this year, and it's expensive. We know this. You have to travel to probably 10 different states for these big tournaments. So we go to the first one, Chicago. He does really well.
Yeah.
Open the eyes up, because we're all local at this point, right? You remember, we know he's good in Ontario. We know he's good up to Toronto. We know he's good in this country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know. I mean, the world's full of martial artists everywhere, so you have no clue. But you can't afford to go to everything. If you do, we're talking $20,000 a year to go follow this tour around. So I'm going to try and find a way for him to score the right points at about 10 grand.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to strategically pick where we're going.
Yeah.
So we decided we're going to do Chicago because I want to see Chicago. We wanted to go to New York, so we went down to New York.
Yeah.
We had Atlanta planned this year. We had a Florida trip planned this year. So there was, and then March come around and the whole
and
world
just everything just shut down.
Yeah. So imagine being the 10-year-old going, "This is my year. I'm the king of the captain," and the whole world just took it away from you. So what'll end up happening next year is when he turns 11. He goes now to the 11 to 13-year-old category.
Right.
So he's at the bottom fighting these giants again.
Right.
And he's competing against these kids that are 2 years older and 2 years stronger and 2 years bigger and 2 years faster. And so,
but the positive thing is you're 10.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of years left to get to the top of the game.
And I don't know, like I'm going to be straight up forward and honest, and maybe I have a little bit of a bias just because I've known you for a while, but I've seen some of the stuff you've done. I've watched some of the videos that have gone on and watched your other competitors as well. And dude, like I can see why you are where you are, because before COVID hit, you had tons of awards. Like I remember I went to your house the one time and it was like, oh yeah, here, let's just walk by Kaleb's room. And it was like the ark on, what was it? Raiders of the Lost Ark there, the ark opens up and just this bright light coming out, because that's all it was from his room. He opened up his door and there was like just this massive glare from all the metal that was going on in your room there.
You don't have a room just for your medals?
Now I do.
Yeah.
Oh, now you do. Good. Did you kick your sister out of her room? Is that what happened?
No.
Okay.
So our house in the basement, we have a granny suite. So there's kitchen and then there's like a little bedroom.
Right.
But nobody was using that bedroom, so it was just a game room, so we can listen to music, play foosball and all that. But instead, we moved the foosball table out, and we put mats in there and made that into like my little practice karate dojo.
Oh, that's cool.
When upstairs is being in use.
Yeah.
So my basement is now kind of my practice karate dojo, and I moved all my medals from my room down to the basement, all along with all my certificates that I have from COVID.
So
and how many trips did that take?
I was
to
playing
move
with my
all
friends.
to move all the awards.
Yeah. Who moved all
Ask
the
them.
awards? Yeah.
That's how it should be. You're the star. You don't
Yeah.
lift stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But let me ask you a question, because I know there's kids listening.
Yeah.
Okay. So most kids think you have to spend a couple hours to get good at something.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend practicing over the last, like, since you got involved? How much time do you spend?
Since I've got involved, hundreds of hours that I've gone through to push myself to be the best that I can at this moment right now.
Wow. So how many, like, how many times a week do you train? Every
I
day?
train-
Every other?
So my schedule was full, but Thursdays and Tuesdays, I decided to take a break. So all the other days, I have my hardcore training.
Okay.
So I train 5 days a week.
So what's your hardcore training? How many hours are you?
Depends. 2 hours, yeah.
2 hours? Okay.
2 hours sometimes, 1.5 hours.
And what
Okay, now is that with about 5 cake breaks or Twinkie breaks in between? You know, like you do a little bit of routine, have a cake or Twinkie, a soda pop, and then go back to it again.
Complete opposite. Maybe
What?
it'll be a cake flavored protein shake, but definitely not cake.
You're ruining it for me. You're ruining it for me.
So what does your workout look like? What does that 2 hours look like?
Mostly Wednesdays, like today, I did a sparring class for half an hour,
Okay.
which is just like bouncing around, getting my technique good in my sparring. And I also had the elite for an hour. So today was the 1.5 hour day, but most other days are 2 hours. Those are hardcore training. My elite was do 2 forms, but run through them for 5 minutes and then go like your full power.
Okay.
And then the other people would go that are in your group, and then it would go choose their different kata or a weapon or some sort.
Mhm.
And then they would do 5 minutes of run through, and
So
then
one day a week would be a kata class. One day a week is strength and conditioning. Then you have a weapons class. Then you have an extreme class. Then you have a learn how to flip.
Okay, sorry.
class.
What's kata?
Your form.
Form.
Is that like Mr. Kata?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
It's your form. So it's a
Forms,
Japanese
okay.
word for form. So a kata is a presentation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have traditional form means what I explained earlier. It's all
Right.
very Japanese based.
Yeah.
And you have creative forms, which is
Yeah.
I made it up.
Yeah.
And you have extreme forms. So you can
Right.
do open hand forms, no weapons, or you can do
Right.
weapon forms.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Now I've seen a lot of your staff videos. Like I've watched them on Facebook
hmm
and different things. But my question is how long did it take you before you stopped hitting yourself
Yeah.
or breaking other things?
Probably a year.
A year. Because I mean, you're fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the surprise to me is to watch like how fast you move that thing.
I don't know.
How much
I really
damage
don't know.
did you do getting to that level?
Smacked my head a couple hundred times.
A couple hundred times, okay.
Easily.
Yeah.
How many of mom's figurines or anything like that did you break? Her plates and stuff?
Actually,
No?
surprisingly, none.
None.
So
Nice.
he's
Wow.
hit his head so many times that Mum and I can hear the sound of it and know how bad it was.
He's all right. He can walk it off.
Yeah, he's good.
Thought you better go look
Oh
at that
shit.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Bring the first aid kit.
Absolutely.
Okay, this one better call 911.
Yeah, that's a 911 one. Yep.
No, that's absolutely amazing. Like all the stuff that you're doing. Now, since COVID started, though, right? We've already talked about it. You got the videos that you do. You send them out. How many competitions have you been in since COVID started?
35, 40.
Oh, you're pushing over 50 now, buddy.
Over 50 tournaments during COVID.
That's it. What do you do with the rest
I don't
of
know
your
that I
time?
woke up 50 times during COVID.
So
But
it sounds extremely busy, and then 50 does sound like a lot. But
yeah,
what they do is let's say as an example, we know that there's a tournament that will be here on Saturday.
right.
They'll give you a month to upload a video,
Okay.
and you just basically have to use one of the main streams like YouTube.
Yeah.
Upload the video, and it sits there and waits until that day.
Okay.
That day,
Okay.
they judge everything that came in. And
Oh,
all of a sudden
okay.
you get
Yeah.
you get an email going, "Congratulations, you got second place on that tournament." And you're
Wow.
like, I've already entered 35 more tournaments since then. I forgot about that one. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So now here's my question. With the 50 different tournaments or 50 plus tournaments, did you have to do a new video for each one, or it could be like, you know what, I like that one, let's just submit that one too? Kind of like, taking a nice picture of your face for a casting call. I'm going to keep using this one for stuff.
The first few tournaments that I did, they were very close together.
Right.
So my video that I was like, it was a solid video.
Yeah.
And so we decided to send that one in a couple more times.
Right.
Until it got outdated.
Right.
So
yeah.
sometimes it's send that one that was a banger for the last tournament, or it's record.
They'll give you a date range. It has to be done between July 3rd and July 10th. So then you have to do a video with something proving that that's the date.
Yeah, so you're in the background holding up the newspaper for the day.
That's it. So at the beginning,
like a ransom video.
When all of this started, everybody used the same videos because if you had one good video that won somewhere,
yes,
probably going to win everywhere.
Yeah, why not?
So these tournament promoters caught on to that and said, okay, stop that. Now you have to show a code. And we're not going to give you the code until that day.
Right.
So then they go, okay, here's the code at 6 o'clock in the morning. You have until midnight tonight to record your video and send it in with that code at the beginning of the video.
Yes.
And that's the only way to keep it fair that everybody recorded that night.
Well, you know,
you got a pretty good editor that'll do that for you. You can still spend a couple weeks.
There we go. And so,
just edit that in.
Yeah, it's been now it's to the point where it's almost, and now there's live ones too. So they're using Zoom, like you said. But this Saturday, as an example, he's got another live tournament. So they'll log into Zoom and kind of wait around for their turn. They call their name. They go up. They got one shot wonder. So if you drop your weapon, you're disqualified. Kind of thing. They get judged live and immediate.
Oh, okay.
So for the live ones there, do you do it in your little basement dojo there that you have? You've done that, or do you go out to the backyard, the front yard, up in the bedroom? Like, where are you going to record this?
No, as I was saying earlier, the basement is just a practice dojo. I still need a little bit more mats and everything to just get time to move out.
Yeah.
So I actually do it in my living room.
In the living room?
So I have a whole like mat space full of mats that I can do my competition.
So like you move the TV and the couch and everything out of the way. You know, no, everybody's just still sitting there.
He doesn't need to do that. He's too good.
Yeah.
Couches are off on the one wall. The TV's up on the other wall. The whole front room is now a dojo.
Do you miss the audiences? Do you miss going in front of people doing it? Like, do you get a rush off that? See, if it was me, I think I would miss that. Like traveling somewhere, being in front of people doing it, as opposed to kind of locked in my house. I'm on my own. I'm in front of a computer. Not quite as exciting, I guess.
I mostly just miss my friends and competing in person, but sometimes it can give people stage fright, and even I get stage fright sometimes.
Do you still get stage fright?
Sometimes.
Yeah, because how many years you been doing this now?
7.5 almost.
7.5 years. Well, no wonder you're going to be able to kick my ass. I get it. Wow, that's crazy. But okay, so like along with what Nate was saying, what you're missing, but what do you find easier, to do it at home or to do it, live? Like, because in a way, it's kind of like playing, a game of hockey, right? Where if you're the away team or the home team, right? You got the home team, you got your home team advantage where, you have all your fans and they're cheering you on right there. Whereas at home, you hear the cars go by or your sister yelling that, she can't find her Barbie or something, right?
Yeah.
So what do you find easier?
That's a hard question. I like online tournaments because it's not like spending thousands of dollars just to go travel and do a little tournament.
But that comes out of his pocket. Who cares?
Yeah, totally.
God's got money.
Well.
He pays for our food.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you worried about?
Yeah.
He's paying for traveling, then there's not going to be any money for food.
Come on. He'll
I think there is a point there because obviously I like my food too. So.
Yeah, but I like being at home, but I also like being at tournaments because my friends are there and they're pushing me and being my motivator other than my family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you probably meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like when you're on the road from different countries, different areas. Like, have you made any really good friends from somewhere?
Actually, yes. When I was in Chicago, I met this kid named Dax Howland.
Yeah.
He's just a country boy and he didn't have many friends.
Yeah.
But at this tournament, I said congratulations to him, and I saw he was sitting alone while the other people were talking to their friends, saying, "Good job, you did this good." I went over to Dax and I introduced myself and I said, "Good job, that was a good performance." And in my head, I thought this is going to be a good start of a new friendship.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
That's
awesome.
like really mature of you.
We
Yeah.
actually talk
There's not-
quite a bit still to this day. So this kid lives down in it's like middle of nowhere, Idaho or something like that.
Idaho, yeah,
I don't know
potato
where it is.
country.
No, you're not
Yeah.
Iowa. Something
Yeah.
like that. But you know,
Yeah.
there's a corn silo in the back of all his pictures, and the wind's blowing through the wheat field. And,
Right,
they're riding
right,
the bow
yeah.
around. So, but they're really good buddies because this kid came into his first event. No, he didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Kaleb was there the first time, didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
NASCA's got this clique where they've got 4 or 5 kids that are the bomb,
Yeah.
and everybody knows them, and they stick
Yeah.
together, and any outsiders don't get in yet.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of character that immediately saw that, and unprovoked by any parents at all, went over and did that thing.
Well,
Wow.
that's
That's
awesome.
Well, mom and dad must be doing something right with you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So at least you're not in front of an audience-less place. Like, have you seen now, like the UFC, the America's
Oh.
Got Talent?
Yeah.
WWE.
The
It's so
Supercross.
weird.
Oh my God.
Just Teddy bears
Supercross.
and
Silence. Yeah.
Have you watched? I think the oddest one is watching wrestling right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The WWF? Or E? Yeah.
WWE is live. There's 1 referee, 2 wrestlers, and no one else. There's a
Wow.
commentator still,
Yeah.
but you hear a mover and you don't hear no crowd, you don't hear nobody cheering. So I mean, they're bantering back and forth, and there's no reaction.
Yeah.
You hear everything.
And you look
Yeah.
around, there's it's all dark, and you can see like the steel chairs sitting there empty, like it's
Wow.
night at the museum of Mick Foley's house, and it's you look around, there's nobody.
Nothing.
It's like
That's gotta
crickets
be
going
so
all
weird.
around in your head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, like, and like I watched some Supercross there, and you see them out there doing the racing, and then you're like, wow. You know, like with wrestling, you can hear all the little sounds and stuff like this. So you hear buddy shifting the gear, and I don't
Yes.
mean the change in the RPMs. I mean the shifter
The click.
being moved. You know, you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Well, that's
You know?
like the UFC fights. Like you can hear the heavy breathing and when they get hit.
Yeah.
Like where before with the crowd, you didn't
you didn't hear none of that.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like it could have been fake
Yeah.
for all you
Crowds
knew, but
definitely make a big difference.
huge
Yeah.
difference. And it's got to be
Do you think
awkward
it's
as the
honestly
star.
do you think it's ever going to come back?
Oh, I'm really hoping. I'm really
hope so.
hoping.
I hope
you know.
so.
Are you? Yeah, you're hoping for good tournaments. You know,
Definitely.
with a whole bunch of people.
Definitely.
Right on. Now, I was just quickly going through some of the stuff that your dad sent me before we started taping here. Apparently, you have 12 championships, or you've entered 12 championships.
I have 12 championships.
So you are like the national champion in 12 different countries
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
What countries? Name them fast.
Iran, Iraq. I don't know.
You don't know.
So
Okay, so I've got them here. You're the national champion for Canada,
Yes.
the USA, Austria, beautiful country, been there before, South Africa, Germany, Costa Rica, Romania, Belarus, Israel, Mexico, Argentina, and Jamaica. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. And then I'm looking at a couple of your tournaments there, 50 tournaments entered. Oh, you only got two that's just the 2 8th place finishes. But 41 golds.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, folks, and you're wondering why I'm a little nervous and I'm sitting back from this kid right now because I'm really scared to actually say something where he wants to like throat punch me because I'm going to be out for the count and it'll be just the Nate's World Show.
What happened to the 8th place?
Yeah.
Like, were you up late partying, drinking,
No.
Hanging out with
Hung
all
over
the
to
all
get
the
there?
girls.
Like, what went
You
down
know.
there?
Either I dropped or the judges screwed me over.
Oh,
No,
judges!
it's never the judges. Some of the big
judges.
ones. So there's most tournaments will have, if you're lucky, there's 10 to 20 kids.
Right.
in it. But then as soon as these worldwide opened, when they opened up on the virtual tournaments, it opened up all these countries. All of a sudden, there's 100 people. There's 160 people.
Oh, geez.
So when you start to see these 5th place, 7th place, 8th place, nothing to shake a stick at. When
No.
you went,
Yeah.
I'm first place out of 15 people in Ontario, or I'm 7th out of 160 kids in the world.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, because I'm just looking right now, out of 150 ranked competitors from over 50 different countries, you started off 2020 in 54th place. And where you're sitting right now?
The third.
Third?
So it was second. It
That's
just
a
slipped
jump.
to third yesterday.
Oh, somebody snuck one in on you.
Snuck one in on 'em.
But
Oh, no.
you're third in the world
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
Okay, you can tell him that nasty thing that you want to tell him because I'm not telling him that.
What nasty thing?
I don't know.
What-
that
look,
thing.
look what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's him. This
Yeah.
is what he does.
I'm not saying it. I'll tell you that now because he's going to whoop my ass. This is unbelievable. And now, hold on a second. You have a Guinness World Record holder?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Wait, just 1 second. It's not Guinness, it's ISCA.
Okay.
So it's not Guinness World Records. It's just part of the ISCA World Records, which is also another online karate tournament, but just a foundation.
What I'm seeing here is you're part of the world's largest online interactive martial arts class.
Yes.
And that made it into the Guinness Book of World Records.
Waiting on Guinness's official. They have to.
The official sign
They
off.
have to make sure there was 1,955 kids that were actively participating. So
Wow.
we're looking at all those videos still.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff. Like, this is unbelievable. So clearly there is a lot of hard work. We've discussed that a little bit going into this, because you're training, what did we figure it out, was 5 days a week, 2 days to sit back and eat bonbons and chalky cake. And apparently you don't. Okay. All right, fine. Don't.
Only on birthdays.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's somebody's birthday every day.
Yeah. Hey, you can come for mine tomorrow. How's that? You can eat some chocolate cake tomorrow for me. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, tons of hard work. You're putting in. Okay, 5 days a week. How many hours a week do we work out?
Well, 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day.
Basically.
5 days. So 10 hours a week.
And then on top of that, Sunday he does a private lesson for 1 hour, which is getting everything dialed in.
Right. And then there's still, so that's the practice.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have how long for, because by the sounds of things, 50 tournaments. I know there's been more than 50 weeks since COVID started, right? So how many tournaments a week approximately?
Two.
Minimum.
Yeah.
2 a week.
Minimum of 2 a week. And so how long would the tournament take? Because you got to do a couple forms and stuff like that, record them or do it live.
The recording session would be about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
An hour.
Right. And then some of the live events can take all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah.
Those only happen once every 2 weeks, which is nice.
So
Just once every 2 weeks. Oh, then
okay.
it's
So
nothing.
The ones overseas are basically I would consider kind of the pain in the butt ones, because you get an email. There's a time difference too, right? 7 hours difference in some of these countries. So they wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and send out their email saying you've got until noon to get your video in. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning over here.
Yeah.
At noon there.
Yeah.
And I'm getting this email when it's 2 hours past the deadline. So we're getting up at 4 in the morning sometimes to record a video so we can get it sent in to go back to bed.
And he's still getting gold on it.
And you wake up to the email going, congratulations, next round, do it again.
Yeah.
And every round you have to record a new video again.
So I'm just looking at all the time that goes in. 5 days a week, 10 hours of practice, plus another hour of private practice. So that's 11 hours right there. And then the tournaments they're taking up, depending on whether it's live or the recorded. So there's another few hours there. Dude, you're almost up to a full-time job right now. That's crazy. Like, you're working more than I'm working on this podcast. Like, that's
and he
unbelievable.
Cries constantly about it.
I do. I cry all the time. But that's amazing. But you're dealing with people from all over the world, right?
Yes.
It's not just 10-year-old boys like that you're competing against. You're competing boys and girls. They're both in your same class, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have girls that sometimes are better than you, and then you have yourself that it's better than other boys and other girls and stuff like this. But everybody's competing for that same level, that same gold medal.
Yes.
Right. And people of all different backgrounds, all different cultures, and stuff like that. And okay, so what's probably the most interesting culture that you've, of somebody that you've been competing with, and, you've met this person and they're from this other country, they do different things. What's probably the coolest culture that you've found? Do you have one?
Well, we went to
Conor
McGregor's gym.
Ireland.
Are you freaking kidding me?
You trained in Conor McGregor's gym?
No, we just went there to see it, to say that we've been there and check that off our bucket list.
We did try to go there to let you get in and go a few rounds on the mats, but they have a very strict policy. We could go in as far as the front door for about 13 seconds, and then we were kindly asked to leave.
Oh.
No pictures, no nothing. It's his home gym, which is
Flippin'
he's there
Connor.
5 days out of the week. He's there, but he just wasn't. He didn't happen to.
Yo,
be there.
McGregor, I'm telling you right now, you need to have a fight right now with Kaleb the Hype Boyle. I want to see you go toe to toe with him, and we'll see who comes out on top. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. You ready for that?
50-50.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Nice. I like it. I like
I was
it.
talking about splitting the money.
Yeah.
No.
That too. That.
Win, lose, or draw, right?
Yeah.
Get the paycheck.
No, this is absolutely amazing. As I said, we're going to be putting up some of the videos that you have. Now, where can we find you? Like, you're on Instagram. I know that much.
Yes.
And you got your own Facebook page there, Kaleb the Hype Boyle.
Mhm.
You know, so people can go and follow your career and what's going on with you and all that good stuff. Where else can we find you?
I am also on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's where a lot of your different little videos are.
What's
Now-
your YouTube?
Kaleb Boyle.
Caleb, not even the hype. You got to put the hype
It
in
is
there.
Kaleb the Hype Boyle.
Kaleb the Hype
Okay.
Boyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
same thing with Instagram, but there's underscores between all the words.
Right.
Kaleb underscore the underscore hype.
Okay. Well, we're going to make sure that we get that put up down in our description down below so people know how to find you and stuff like that.
So where's the future? Where's the future for, like, where are you taking all this? Do you want to be a fighter when you grow up, a professional fighter? Do you want to star in movies like Jackie Chan? Do you want, like, what's your future?
My future is to work my way to the Olympics in 2028.
2028.
Yes.
2028.
All
Okay,
right.
It's 2020 now. 8 years. So, yeah, you'll be 18. 18 years old doing the Olympics. Yeah, I'm there.
But then what
Hopefully by then we'll have enough
But
money
after-
from our podcast that we'll
That's
actually be able
right,
to travel there to watch them
depending
live.
on where it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen,
As long as it's in London, Ontario or something.
yeah, when
Your
you
Woodstock.
when you win your gold at the Olympics, are you going to turn this into something full time? Like, are you wanting to grow up to be in the UFC or like a kickboxer or a martial artist, or like, what's your goal out of this? Stunt man? No,
Yeah.
that was
No.
yesterday, Dad. Today's different.
Or you just want to keep this as like a hobby and then you're going to go off and be like a space scientist or something like that.
I'm going to keep trying to train for as long as I can, like 25, maybe 30. And then I want to go off to the military.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Well, we can have a big, long conversation about that later. We definitely can, because I've got lots of stories and stuff to tell you about that.
Yeah.
Dad's shaking his head going, no, don't tell him those stories. Don't tell him those
He's
stories.
been since 3 years old.
Yeah.
Dead set on, I want to be a soldier. I want to be a soldier. I
Right
wanna
on.
be a soldier.
Really?
Okay, well, then I got to ask you, why?
It's not the feeling of being the soldier, it's the feeling of saving somebody else's life and potentially helping somebody else that's in danger and that's in need.
Damn. That's a good answer.
Wow.
I can take that. I can't discourage that.
Mm.
No, but we'll still talk. We'll fill you in on some stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Going into the military has their own, I guess, world of sports, we'll say, because we take in athletes all the time, and we'll go and we'll set you up, and you basically compete. Just like you are with the tournaments, well, maybe not right now with the COVID, but you'll go to like live tournaments and stuff like this, but against other militaries around the world. And that's all you do. We have people that do like the cross country. We do the biathlon. There's the weightlifting. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The judo, I believe there's karate. I'm not 100% positive, so don't quote me on it. But I know that it's absolutely huge. So I had a friend of mine whose sister was really, really big into running. My God, she was amazing at running, and she like did the Ironman. Now the military Ironman is just a little bit different than the regular Ironman that you see on TV, where they go for the swim, they go for the run, they go for the bike, right? Or swim, bike, run. You know, in the military, it's you go for a rucksack march, so the big pack on your back. You go for a really long distance with that. Then you pick up a canoe. And then you take that for a really, really long distance. And then you put the canoe in the water and you paddle for a really, really, really long time. And then you get out of the water and then I don't think you have to pick up the canoe again, but then you march for a really, really long time. And she was like the top female in the entire Canadian Forces doing that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, she went all over the world doing sports. So you could probably still do all your karate stuff through the military. Basically kind of like a college sponsorship, let's say, where, you know, you still get to do your military stuff, but then it's like, well, for this 6 months, instead of going on tour to some foreign land to do this stuff, we're going to send you to this place here so you can compete. And that's what they do. Okay. So you got
the one thing is with like the karate that you're doing right now, just learning this discipline, like, is going to take you anywhere you want to go. Like like kids that get into this stuff and like have your drive grow up to be successful in everything, because you take that same attitude, that same drive with you towards everything.
I see it in, when you have other 10-year-old kids come to the house.
Yeah.
You see the level of maturity that those kids are at versus where I see Kaleb.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you can tell.
That's where I can see. It's like you having a puppy. You don't see how much bigger it gets until you haven't been around it for months.
Yeah.
It's like these kids do it. I'm like, wow, that's really a 10-year-old. Like my kid's 10 on 15, realistically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, hell, just listen to some of the answers here that you've been given. I'm like, damn, that was good. You know, my Oscar, please. You know?
You know? But you know, Kaleb, if you want to see the other side of it, the people without the drive, just look at us.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where you'll be if you lose that drive.
Yeah. Fat, lazy, hoping someone will pay attention to their podcast.
All right. You don't want that.
Yeah. Now, I actually have to ask Dad a question, though, because we were talking about the drive and stuff like this. So, Dad, he's been wanting to do this for like ever. He's been doing all the karate stuff. And I know personally from raising kids myself, the kids are like, I want to do this. Like, I want a puppy. Don't worry. I'll take care of them.
Right.
And then there's you are like, no, apparently I'm taking care of the puppy now. What kind of level of support have you had to deal with it and going, no, you said you wanted to do this. Yep. We're going with it.
Absolutely.
If you explain a bit about that, because I know it's a big thing.
So it starts back and so when he's 4 years old, he's getting bullied in junior kindergarten.
Right.
There's issues going on. As a parent, I can't go and bully the bully.
Yeah.
I can't go after the dad. I mean,
yeah.
So the school's not doing anything about it. So what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, we're going to put you into karate and let's, at least teach you how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
He goes into his first class, gets his butt whooped by a girl.
Yeah.
Doesn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
Well, I think he doesn't enjoy it, but he come home and surprisingly enough falls in love with it.
Yeah.
And a little bit later falls in love with that girl and then just falls out of love. It's a longer story.
I've fallen in love with every girl that's kicked my ass.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah.
So then as he's progressing, he's going through this little junior program and he's whooping butt through it in the club. Like I can tell there's something different about him. I've done martial arts my entire life and I can tell there's something different. I'm biased. I'm his dad.
Yeah.
But then other people start telling me, and Steve, you should look at a competitive team for him and you should look at the next level. And we're going, okay, well, we'll try out a couple little tournaments and he's doing well and he gets his first trophy and his eyes light up. And I can tell that's the moment he's hooked. But then we get to an orange belt level and he's, Dad, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I'm like, you know what, at orange belt, I'm invested enough at this point that now or never. We move forward full-fledged, we're going black belt and carry on with this, or you walk away now.
Yeah.
And it was everything's always been his decision, right?
Yeah.
I'm as far as a father, I'm going to push him as much as I can to get the best out of him. But ultimately, I'm not him.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not living vicariously through him. I want him to make his decisions. You want to do this? Do this. Here's an alternative.
Yeah.
Here's an opinion.
Yeah.
You choose.
Right.
He decided he wanted to stick it out, and then he went on to his black belt, and he set a goal, and he had a chance to go for his black belt 3 times before he decided it was ready, that he was ready.
Right.
So a year and a half, he could have had it earlier, but he just, Dad, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't want it yet, which was pretty cool. And then he finally got it, and when he got his black belt, he was one of the youngest in Ontario to ever get it. He was like 4 days plus on the record for that. And then as the trophies got bigger, the wallet got really thin. Yeah. And then it started the traveling, and it's much like hockey or baseball. I mean, these parents put in thousands of dollars to get their kids to a level, and then the real sport happens when they make a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're at the point now where he's made the team. He's pretty darn good at what he does, right? And now it's the international teams are coming after him, and the sponsorships are coming after him, and now it's the business side of Kaleb that all of a sudden at 10 years old we have to deal with. And so it's I have to stay involved, because at some point, I don't want anybody taking advantage.
Yeah, you got to protect them.
Yeah,
it's a protection point, right? Because all these teams are like, be on our team, be on our team, be on our team. Well, what does he get out of that?
Yeah.
Well, he gets a free shirt Okay, well, this guy's offering.
Yeah. Were there ever those days though where it's like, okay, listen, time for practice. Well, come on, Dad, just another half hour on the video games, or was it a little bit different?
So, what attitude does Dad give you most of the times that we're in practicing together? Am I a nice guy? Be
Not
honest.
all the time.
Not most of the time, right? It's not a time to be nice at that point.
Yeah.
So, but I've learned this with Kaleb. I mean, he understands who I am, and that I'm not just being a jerk, and I'm not just being an ass and yelling at you for a reason. I'm doing this because I know that after 4 years of communicating with you this way, I get the best out of you when you're pissed off at me.
Yeah.
And so I'll be in there, and I'm like, you really think you're doing the best you've got right now? And then he'll step up, and all of a sudden we film a video, and it was 10 times better than what he just did. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I know that I've got to get that out of him. Yeah. And
well, I know with my son there, he went into motocross for a little bit. And he's like, no, I'm trying hard. And it's like, no, you're not. Right. you're not trying hard. I know. Deliver to your kid. Yeah. And that's the thing, because, like with karate, I know there's, not every kid's getting that trophy, because as I saw right there were times where you had 8th place and 7th place. It wasn't all the 41 golds, right? So being able to go and show your kid, look, this is what it's like to lose. This is what it's like to win. This is the real world. This is how things work. This is how the world works. So if you want it, you have to go for it. Well, I could have, no, listen, you said you wanted to do this. You're doing it, and then all of a sudden they do it, and then they're like, oh, wow, yeah, that is awesome. Yes, it is. But I tried really hard, but I lost. Yes, but Dad is still super proud because you tried. It's when you don't try, that's when Dad gets upset. Right. That's exactly it. And when you're traveling somewhere and you spent $400 to get somewhere and $200 for the hotel for the night. Yeah. You watch your kid go out and give their 10th best. Yeah. And I just know that that's not what that stuff gets frustrating as heck. But you have to walk away and go, did you do the best you think you could do? And where do you think you went sideways, and what can we work on? Back at the box tomorrow. You got to keep that support there. But man, there's been times we haven't always looked eye to eye, right? We butted heads a few times. But ultimately, where are you at now? Yeah, I'm at the top of the level right now. Right. Yeah. And your instructor Sifu, I mean, is he always the nicest of nice guys? No. He's a character like Dad. This guy, I mean, he means business, and you don't do what he says, it's you're in trouble, man. But
there's that place with kids, right? Like, I mean, it's gone so far the other way where it's like you can't be hard on them. You can't
participation ribbons,
all this shit, and they don't learn the discipline. They don't learn what it is to lose, like to feel that loss, and be like, okay. Now I can either curl up in a ball and give up because I lost, or I can go train harder so the next time I go back, I do better. Yeah. And it's teaching your kids, like, it's okay to lose, but it's not okay to give up. It's okay to fail at something, but you can't give up, right? Yeah. And that's what your dad instills in you. Like, you got to keep going. If you're not giving it your best, don't expect the best out of it.
So what's that phrase we have? Do you ever lose a tournament?
No. Well, you never lose. You either win or you learn.
Right.
That's awesome. Right. That's fantastic.
And you got to take that with you all through life, man. Yeah. That's the biggest lesson. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've been absolutely super stoked to have you here talking to us about all this stuff. Please promise me you'll never beat me up and take my lunch money, okay? Because I need all the lunch I can get to sustain this, all right? It's been absolutely fantastic having you in. Thanks, Dad, for coming in and helping us out here a little bit.
No problem.
We wish you all the best. We want to see more about what's going on. And I know Dad's going to be filling us in, telling us all about every other tournament that you're in, how you're going. And we're so super stoked for you. We wish you nothing but the best. And folks, as I said, make sure you check out Kaleb the Hype Boyle, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The descriptions and locations are going to be down below in the description of our video, this video right here, as well as in the audio links, depending on where you go for that. Make sure you check him out.
Before you close out, he's got some people he wants to give a shout out to.
Oh, yeah. You got some shout out to people? Yeah. So who you got there?
I've got my Sifu Julian that has pushed me to be the guy that I am now. Yeah. And in my karate career, he is the owner of Hotshot Athletics down in Cambridge. And I would like to say thank you to Michael Politi, which is my Team NMAC partner now. And he has put me on to the Team NMAC to represent NMAC for
so that's
all
his
around
first
the
real
world.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Wow. Sponsored 10.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And my Seabok Shamoon, he's my Sifu's dad, but he owns Shamoon Generations of martial arts down in Waterloo. Mom, Dad, Avery for being my biggest support too.
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
That's fantastic. Fantastic.
They stick with me the whole way.
Yeah.
Always will, dude.
That's awesome.
That's what parents do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, thanks for coming on. Folks, check out the description down below. Find out what this kid's doing because it's absolutely amazing. Check out the whole sport. You know, see what else is going on. Check out the different age levels. See what these kids are putting into things. You know, these aren't the typical kids going, I'm going to play video games all my life. Okay? Like my kid and Nate's kid. Okay? That's all they want to do. These guys, these kids are getting up off their ass. They're doing all this high-flung poo stuff, and it's absolutely amazing.
And they're starting it at 3.
Starting it at 3. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So check it all out. Please make sure you put a comment, a like, hit that subscribe and bell icon to stay up to date with us. And share it with all your friends. Till then, have a good night.
Later.
Why are you so offended?